Vrindavan Mahimamrita. We're hearing about the glories of Vrindavan. We're discussing about contact with Brijvasis, how powerful it is. This is chapter 8, verse 87. Kamadadinam paravyasho yashorti dyakta satpata katam Vrindavane sadam nanyadyat yaditat kripa. Even if one is controlled by lusty desires of name and fame, and averse to following religious principles, if he takes shelter of Vrindavan and attains the mercy of Vrindavan, what perfection remains for him to achieve? Saraswati Pad, he's encouraging anyone and everyone of all backgrounds, come to Vrindavan and you'll get perfection. Siddhi. Katam Vrindavane Siddhi. Siddhi. We don't want Anima Siddhi or Lagima Siddhi. We want Prem Siddhi. Prem Siddhi means the perfection of the loving service of Radha and Krishna and the groves of Vrindavan. Nothing less and nothing more. So even if one is Kamadinam Paravasho, controlled by lusty desires, and he wants fame, Yasho means fame, Yashomati. Yasho, art, Tyakta, Satpata. If he's desirous of fame, or he's opposed to, Tyakta Satpata. The Satpat means, it's interesting, Satpat means the path of truth, the path of the eternal path. The Satpat, path, P-A-T-H, path or way or road, and pata. So he's Yasho Arti, art. He wants that opulence of fame. Art means a desirable object. I want fame. And he rejects all religious activities. That's all he just wants after fame. And if such a person comes to Vrindavan, he'll get actually siddhi. He'll get perfection. It's a very nice verse. Contact with Vrindavan. What contact with Vrindavan will do? Look at text 89. Vishuddha sattve parame shimad Vrindavane tvayi kritant aparadasya. See, it's kritan ant aparadasya tam eva sharanam mama. Right? Ananta aparad. See it? Krita Ananta aparad. That's very easy. It sounds like Hindi. Karma, krita. If he does, you can figure it out. If he does unlimited aparads, right? Ananta. Oh, Vrindavan, you are Vishuddha Sattva, Parama. You're completely the topmost transcendental form of pure goodness. Therefore, Shri Vrindavan, even if I commit any offense against you, you are nevertheless my only shelter. Not only any, it says ananta. Ananta means unlimited. Unlimited aparads. Even if I commit unlimited aparads, then tam eva sharanam mama. Sri Krishna sharanam mama. Sri Brajadam sharanam mama. Like the Gujaratis, Pushti Margis. Sri Krishnam sharanam mama. Sri Krishna sharanam mama. Sri Krishna sharanam mama. Sri Krishna sharanam mama. We don't have any problem with the Gujaratis, Pushti Margis chanting, because Sri is Radha and Krishna is Sham, and we have no other shelter than them. They are our only shelter. Sri Krishna sharanam mama. So this is a nice verse. And now, this is about the foot dust of Vrindavan. Chapter 5, verse 26. This whole category is about the Brijvasis, supposed to be. Brijvasis, there's no faults, any kind of contact with the Brijvasis. Punanti Brahma Rudra Din Yesham Charna Reinava Sarva Bhavena Me Savyas Te Vrindavana Vasina. The Vrindavan inhabitants whose feet dust purifies even personalities like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, are in every respect worshipable for me. The Brijvasis, the dust of their feet purifies personalities like even Brahma and Shiva. They get purified by the dust of the feet of the Brijvasis. It says here that Saraswati Pad is saying that, he's saying, Punanti Brahma Rudradin. Brahma Rudra Adi. Adi means beginning with. There's 33 crores of demigods. And the primal ones are Brahma, because Vishnu's not a demigod. He's the God, not a demigod. He's the God, the absolute truth. It says, Brahma Rudra Adin, beginning with Brahma and Rudras. These are the two major gods. And Punanti, they get purified. Yesham Charna Renava. Charna Renu means the dust of the feet. Sarva Bhavena may savias. And they are and Sarva Bhavena Savya. They are the object that with all my, in every respect, with all my bhavas, Sarva Bhavena, means all my thoughts, all my desires, all my feelings. The object of my feelings, the object of my desires, and the worthiest, the most worthy personalities of my service are the Brijvasis and the dust. Te Vrindavana Vasina, Vrindavan Vasi. Vrindavan Vasi means Brajvasi. So this is so there's a pastime that shows that the dust of the feet of the Brijvasis is worshipable. Lord Brahma, in one Purana, he's praying, oh please let me take birth as a rock in Vrindavan. So when the bungis, the street sweepers, when they come home at night to their houses, I will be one of those rocks outside of their house, and they will scrape their feet off on me, on my rock surface, my rock body. They will scrape their feet off on me, and then I'll get the benefit of the dust from the feet of the bungis, Bungi Raj. Bungi Brijvasi Raj. So that's his idea. And then, not only that, it's explained in Govinda Lilamrita, that every afternoon in Aparan Lila, from 3:36 p.m. to 6 p.m., then the demigods come down to bathe in the Goduli and the Charanduli of Krishna and Balaram and all the Brijvasis, Sridham, Subal, and Gobhata, Mandali, Bhadra, and all the coward boys. And then they offer so many stutis and prayers and worship of the Brijvasis. So Brahma's there, Shiva's there, everyone's there. So this is the contact with the Brijvasis.
Thank you.
So that's very nice. And the value of any contact, and that's the value of the foot dust. So let's turn to chapter 16, verse 76. Mahani Sanganam Sahaja Madaratma Priyakata Prasanganam Premo Pulaka Galat Ashra Kula Giram Apare Shri Vrindavana Rasa Mahabdo Viharitam Shiro Me Solasam Vahatu Mahatam Shri Padaraja. I happily take the dust from the lotus feet of those great personalities who are always engaged in discussing topics of Sri Radha and Krishna, whose voice becomes choked, who shed tears of love, and who enjoy within the great ocean of unlimited ecstasy in Vrindavan. So this is certainly a desirable dust of the feet of those great personalities who are extremely detached, always engaged in talking about Radha and Krishna, and their voices become choked and they exhibit symptoms of bhava. They shed tears of love, and they enjoy within the great ocean of unlimited ecstasy in Vrindavan. Apare Shri Vrindavana Ras Mahabdo Viharatam. Rasa Maha, Maharas. The Maharas is the Maharas dance, the Ras Lila. Rasa Maha Abdo. Abdo means Maharasa, means Maha Abdo, means a great ocean. Abdo means, Abdi means ocean. Maha, Mahanidhi, Maha Abdo. Great ocean. Rasa. Rasa Mahabdo. Vihar, Bihari. Right? Radhabanki Bihari. We're going to hear about what type of vision do the Brijvasis have. Chapter 17, verse 60. Yat kot yam sham api sprishena nigama yano vidur yogina Shrisha Brahma Shuka Arjuna Udav Mukha Pashanti Yana Kvachit Anyat Kim Brajavasi Namapina Yat Dris Yam Kada Lokaye Shri Vrindavana Rupa Madbhutam Aham Radha Pada Ekashraya Shri Vrindavana Rupa Madbhutam Shri Vrindavan Rupa Madbhutam Rupa Abhutam Aham Radhapad Eka Ashraya. Pretty easy, huh? Aham Radhapad Eka Ashraya. I, Aham, Ek Ashraya, one shelter. What? Radha's lotus feet. And Sri Vrindavana Rupam Adbhutam. Adbhutam means the amazing form of Vrindavan. So we have two shelters. One is the shelter of the Sri Vrindavana Rupam Adbhutam, the amazing form of Vrindavan. And then the shelter of Radharani's feet. Alas, when will that auspicious day arrive, when the actual glories of Vrindavan will be manifest to me? The scriptures are unable to touch even 1/1,000,000th portion of the wonderful glories of Vrindavan. Great personalities like Brahm, Shiv, Lakshmi, Shukadev, Arjun, Uddhav are unable to get darshan of Vrindavan's confidential form. The yogis cannot understand the glories of Brajadam through their yogic performances. What to speak of others? Even the ordinary Brijvasis cannot see it. Shri Vrindavan exhibits her real form only to those fortunate devotees who have taken shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Radhika. In the land of consciousness, everything is personal. So the material world is also the land of consciousness, Krishna consciousness. And the land of Vrindavan is the land of consciousness, Radha consciousness. So this is the International Society for Radha Consciousness. So this is the ultimate conception. This is the subjective view of reality. That there's a subject, that I am the object of an original subject. I am not the subject. The basic worldview of every materialist is I am the center, and every object is and I am the observer and enjoyer of all the objects. I am the subject, and everything's an object. An objective. What is your objective? What is your mission statement? You are my objective. Some man put his finger on a woman. You're my objective. Not true. You're the object of my objective and the objective of my object. So, but actually there's an original subject. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajantimam buddha bhava samanvidaha. 10th chapter, Gita, verse 8, Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhava. Everything's manifested from me, man, not you. So the original subject is Krishna's tu Bhagavan Swayam. Injarayi Vyakulam Vale. He's the original subject, Swayam Bhagavan Sri Krishna. And we are objects of his creation, meant for his satisfaction and pleasure. He's a bhokta, he's the enjoyer. Maheshwaram and Bhogeshwaram, he's everything. So this is in this land of consciousness. And this Vrindavan, it says Vrindavan will exhibit her real form. So Vrindavan is not land, it's a person. Person means consciousness. There's energy called sunlight, but there's a person called Suryadev. There's energy called the Chit Shakti. Chit Shakti, the spiritual potency. But there's a person behind it. That Chit potency is the potency of Chinmaya Sarup Sri Krishna. Chinmaya Shakti Sri Krishna. So we are a portion of Chit Shakti, Satchidananda Chit Shakti, spiritual energy. But that energy takes shape as consciousness. And that consciousness takes shape and expresses itself through personality. Now, Krishna has multifarious energies. And then all together they form what is called Krishna consciousness. And they take shape in a beautiful person known as Shyam Sundar. And he interacts with other personalities of consciousness in the land of Rasa. So Vrindavan is also personal. There's the goddess of Radhakund, Radharani, and the Lord of Shamakund, Sham. It's water. No, there's a goddess here. The goddess of this water is Radharani. This is her energy. This is her Shakti. And there's this water here that's called Shamakund. No, it's not a Kund named Sham. It's Sham. It's the energy of the conscious person, the absolute person, Sham. When we go to Manasi Ganga, well, there's Manasi Devi there. Everywhere there's Sankhet. You go to Sankhet Van, and there's Sankhet Devi, and Varsana Devi, and there's Mukti Devi. You've heard of Mukti Devi. Mukti Swayam Mukulitanjali Sevate Sman is told. Bilamangala Thakur, Krishna Karnamrita. Mukti Swayam. Personification of Mukti means a personality. Mukti Devi. She stands as Mukulitanjali Sevate Sman, with folded hands waiting to serve the devotee. But he says, no thanks, I'm busy now. I have no interest in liberation. Who wants $100 when you have $1 million? Like, I'll give you $100. No, that's all right, thanks. No, really, it's really wonderful, it's $100. Why aren't you, everyone else is interested in my $100, why not you? Because I have $1 million. If you have the service of Radha and Krishna and Sri Guru, then you have millions of dollars. Mukti's bankrupt. Mukti's gone bankrupt compared to the devotees. Mukti approaches the devotees and takes a loan. Mukti takes housing loans from the devotees. It's a very beautiful verse. Alas, when will that auspicious day arrive when the actual glories of Vrindavan will be manifested to me? The scriptures can't even touch a millionth portion of its wonderful glories. That's a fact. Any place is like that. Like you read some book about Hawaii, and they say, oh, it seems so wonderful. But then you go there and say, well, wait a minute. This book really falls short. This paper, these words, these photographs, even materially. They describe, you read a book about the Himalayas. Say you read a book about Himalayas, very popular books, and these kind of stores, bookshops, travel and tours. The Himalayas, beautiful pictures and high-powered lenses and expert photographers in black and white and color. It looks very attractive. But it's nothing like climbing the Himalayas. The experience, the ambience, the sounds, the colors, the intensity of colors and the light and the radiance and the grandeur and the power of the mountains and the radiation of energy and power from the mountains. I mean, it's something different, isn't it? Yes. Even materially we have that experience that, some National Geographic pictures of some tigers or some lions in the African plains, really great photographs, but then you go there and see the lion, it's a little different. The pictures of the lions don't roar. They haven't developed the technology when you look at a picture of a lion, it goes, rah! It doesn't happen. So the same thing, what to speak, that's materially, you can only get an approximation of the thing with words and pictures. But the hands-on experience is something transcendental. So similarly, but that's just some pale comparison or pale representation of the material actual place or object. But the spiritual reality of Vrindavan even the scriptures that describe Vrindavan, they can't actually touch a 1/1,000,000th portion of its wonderful glories. Like you may read a book, Appreciating Sri Vrindavan Dham. So then you read so many wonderful things there. Then when you come here, then the dimension is so much different. You can't hear, when you read about the wind or the trees of Vrindavan, you can't feel them. You can't embrace the trees. Like it's written in there about the trees are polished. The trees of Sevakunj and Radhakund are polished by repeated embraces of loving devotees. There's a phrase like that. The trees of Vrindavan are smoothly polished by the repeated embraces of surrendered devotees. There's a phrase like that, describing the trees of Vrindavan. There's one chapter there. I know, I'm familiar with this book. And although it was 20 years ago, 1991, because those are very deep impressions that came on. You know, the artist, the poet, the photographer, the writer, they have a different type of different sensitivities and perceptions than the ordinary person. And that's arranged by God. The sensitivities and powers and perceptions are given by God to share, open up the glories and vibhuti of God to others. Like a man he's seeing the world in a microscope and so many amazing things. And he says, hey, look. And then he shares his view through the microscope. And oh, wow, well, look at that, Mitochondria and Golgi complex and all these things. Vacuoles and flagella and all these other wild little things. So then he lets you look through the microscope and see all the amazing things on the slide. Because he has that facility, he has the microscope. The same way, the devotee, he has some facility given to him by the Lord to reveal the Lord to others, the vibhutis of the Lord, the beauty and the sweetness and the specialities of the Lord's creation and leelas. That's why these great personalities like Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur and Sri Jiva Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami, and of course our Srila Prabhupada, their tikas and commentaries on the sacred scriptures like Bhagavat Puran and Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and Chaitanya Charitamrita and others are so valuable because they're what we call insightful. They give us sight into the unknown. Insight means they extend our sight into unknown regions. Insightful. And although it was an insightful lecture, an insightful piece of writing. It extends our sight into regions of the unknown and imperceptible to our ordinary vision. So then they're invaluable, and 500 years later we're relishing and deeply relishing and appreciating commentaries of the great saints and those giants of perception and those masters of devotion who were able to reveal these inside scoops, you can say, secrets of the leelas, the conversations, the feelings, how Arjuna is feeling on a battlefield, and the inner mental dialogue of Arjuna as he's hearing the instructions of Krishna. When Krishna said this, Arjuna was feeling like this and thinking of saying that, and anticipating that Arjuna might say that, then Krishna said his next verse. These are the tikas of Vishnath and Bhagavad Gita, which you must have seen. And then the same thing with the Bhagavatam. You're amazed. How does he know what he's anticipating, what he's he knows what Krishna, he knows what God's thinking, he knows what God's devotees thinking, and he knows what they're both thinking 5,000 years ago. That's called Trikalagya. Trikalagya. The ability to see through three phases of time, not only lokik time, lokik kal, material time, lokik kal, but alokik kal, divya kal, divya samay, transcendental time. What's going on in the spiritual dimension, because that's the fourth dimension beyond the material perception. The fourth dimension beyond the material perception is the soul world, the Atma world, the world of the jivas, and the world of spiritual energy. Because God and His devotees, His parishads, are all members of that plane, the absolute plane of highest transcendence, beyond, beyond, and far, far beyond the limited scope of this material world. Look at these great personalities. They represent different levels of devotion. Brahma, Shiva, Lakshmi, Shukadev, Arjuna, Uddhav. They cannot get the darshan of the confidential form of Vrindavan. Page 615. Shrisha, that means Shiva. Brahma, Shuka, Arjuna, Uddhav, Mukha, Pashyanti, Yana, Kvachit. Pashyanti, Mukha, Yana, Ana, Kvachit. Yana, Yana, Pashyanti, Yana, Mukha. That chief, that main form they can't see. Vrajavasi apina drisyam kada loke. When kada loke, kada loke, kada, 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 kada kurishyasimam kripa katakshavajana. Kada, kada. When will I ever get that vision? When will I ever see this beautiful damsel, this beautiful goddess of Brajadevi, Vrindadevi. Vrindadevi is Vrindavan. Vrindavan is Vrindadevi. She's a Devi, she's a goddess. She's a conscious being. And this is all her, the trees are her dress, and the grasses are her hairs of her body, and the clouds are her hairstyle. And the birds are her singing. And the rivers are her moods. This is Vrindavan, the beautiful Devi. Is living here for the pleasure of Krishna. And will she show us her true form? She will when we show our true form. It's 50-50. I'll meet you halfway. What's our true form? Jivera Surupaya Krishnera Nityadas Das Das Anudas. When we actually show our true form and not our true colors, and our true form is Krishna's eternal surrendered servants with no separate agenda, ulterior motives, and private programs, then we may have darshan of Vrindadevi, Radha, and Krishna together. So who can see Vrindavan as Shri Vrindavan as she really is? Someone who, what? Shri Vrindavanam. Shri Vrindavanam. Rupam Adbhutam. Rupam Adbhutam. The amazing form of Vrindavan. Who can see Kada Lokaye? Kada Lok, this goes together. Drishyam. Yat Drishyam Kada Lokaye Shri Vrindavana Rupam Adbhutam. This is the question. It starts with Kada who? Kada. When. Kada when. When will I see? Kada Krishisam. When will I get the mercy? Kada Loke. When will I see? What? Shri Vrindavan Dham Vishaya Charya Kabe Shuddha Habe Man Kabe Ha Meherabho Shri Vrindavan Dham. This is our real form. When we show our real form, then we can see the real form of Vrindavan. What is our real form? Vishaya Charya Shuddha Habe Man. When we throw out Vishaya Charya, Charya means Chodye. Chodye, Charya, it's Bengali. Vishaya Charya Kabe Shuddha Habe Man. Shuddha Habe Man. When will my mind, my man be Shuddh, pure? Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Matsarya, sab out. Chordo, gone, chalega, khatam ho gaya. Then Shri Vrindavan Dham, as Prabhupada so deeply, beautifully, bhavically, framically sang. So much bhav in his voice. You ever hear him sing that? Vishaya Chariya Kabe Shuddha Habe Man Kabe Ha Meherabho Shri Vrindavan Dham. You ever heard? You think, wow, I'm a long way from Shudaman. What's man backwards?
No.
Shudanam. No Shudanam? N-A-M, Nam. M-A-N, mind in Sanskrit. No Shuddhanan, no Shuddhaman. So that's our real form. Pure mind, pure desire, pure actions. Then when we show that pure mind, then Vrindavan says, yes, you've been here for so long, and you've come here so many times, and you visit here so many times, and so many lifetimes you've come, and now you finally, I've had my true form all along, waiting to show you. Here I am. But you've been hiding yourself behind your lust. You've been hiding your true form behind your greed. Hiding your true form behind your envy. Hiding your true form behind your lust. And all those aparads, what are those all about? They make you stink. Not only have bad clothes, but you stink. You're covered with bad clothes and you haven't bathed either. So it's one thing to wear crappy clothes and you also stink. So what makes a devotee stink? Aparads. And what covers him? Lust, anger, greed, envy. These are his coverings. And he becomes stinky when he has aparads. I can't tell you where that comes from. That's kind of a poetic license, they can say. That's a fact. Everyone can agree that aparads are like dead bodies. So this is a great fortune. Radhapadika Ashraya. Aham Radhapadika Ashraya. I have one shelter, the lotus feet of Radha. Radharani. So it's a very nice verse about the vision that the Brijvasis have. When will she exhibit a real form? So Brijvasis can see the real form of Vrindavan because they're surrendered to Radharani. A Brijvasi is one who's connected to Radharani, isn't it? That's why, what's the mantra in Vrindavan? Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Radhe Radhe. Radhe Radhe. What did they say? Radhe Radhe. I was staying at Dhira Damodara Temple in Providence Rooms in 1989 or so, 1990. And that's the habit. That's in Vrindavan, at least everybody, all Brijvasis, they greet each other by saying Radhe Radhe. In any other village in North India, people greet each other by saying Ram Ram Sab, Ram Ram Sab, Ram Ram Sab. So you can travel the length and breadth of India, which we did, and you won't find anywhere people saying Radhe Radhe. Nowhere. Not even Navadvip, Mayapur, Jagannath Puri. Impossible. Jai Jagannath! Jai Jagannath! Jai Jagannath! Jai Jagannath! That's all. Chakadara. They say Chakadara. Raktadara, Chakadara. But here it's Radhe Radhe. It's Radhe Radhe. It's the password everyone says. So that means that Brijvasis can see the real form of Vrindavan, because the real form of Vrindavan is Vrindadevi and Radharani. So the real form of Vrindavan is contained in the real name of Radharani. Radharani's name contains Radharani's form. Radharani's form contains her attributes. And with those attributes, Radharani engages in so many pastimes with Shyam Sundar. This is 10th entry, or Brijvasis serve Radharani. Well, that's interesting. So these are all points of the Brijvasis. They're all Chinmaya. There's no faults, the value of any contact, what vision they have. And this point is how the Brijvasis serve Radharani. It's chapter 11, verse 106. Pamartha Pancheva Brahmanam, together. Pamartha Pancheva Brahmanam, Iya Vishva Vidadate, Sadanande Vrindavana Gata, Janer Atma Kalane, Ihastanam Tvaitat Parama, Kripya Pran Madamaha, Rasoga Shirada Pada, Juga, Jusham Kwapi Najushi. According to the vision of the blissful resonance of Vrindavan, the 5 goals of human life can be seen wandering about Vrindavan. Panchapurushartha. Panchapurushartha Brahmanam. Brahmanam means Brahmanda, Brahmateko, and Bhagavana Jiva. That's Vishvag. They're wandering about Vrindavan. But the vision of the servants of Sri Radha's lotus feet, from which flows an ocean of transcendental mellows, does not divert from the mercy of Sri Radha. So that's very interesting, that from the lotus feet of Radha, there's an ocean of transcendental mellows. Maharasoga. Oga means ocean. Maharas. Pranmada Maharasoga Shirada Pada Yuga. From the para Shirada Pada Yuga. Shirada Pada Radha Pada Yuga. From the pair of Radharani's feet, Maharasoga means an ocean flows in a transcendental ocean. And Jusham Kwapi Nadrishi, they don't go anywhere. Their vision doesn't, the devotee, the Brijvasi's vision doesn't wander anywhere from the lotus feet of Radharani. What's that? What the verse is saying is, even in the face of so many allurements or enticements or distractions or invitations from lust, kam, art, was it dharma, art, kam, moksha, or even prem, Vaikuntha prem? Pancha Purushartha says, Pum artha panchaiva brahmanam. Pum artha, puma means pumsa, man, living entity. Art means desirable objects. Panchaiva means 5. Dharma, art, kam, moksha, prem. It's 5. Like we said, prem purushartha. Lord Chaitanya has come to teach the prem purushartha, the 5th goal of human life. They're wandering around, personified. Dharma is wandering around Vrindavan. You see what the verse is saying? Brahmanam. Dharma is wandering around, personified. You want Dharma? You want religiousness? Yama niyama, religiousness, morality, all kinds of vidhis and vidhi nisheda, shastra nisheda, rules, regulations, and all kinds of yogis and pujas. You want religiosity? Okay, here, I'll give it to you. No, thanks. I'm fixed on Radha's feet, on the flow of mercy of Radha's feet. And then art, money personifies wandering around Vrindavan. You want money? You want name, fame, gain, profit? Take it, I'll give it to you. Because Vrindavan is a wish-fulfilling place. This is another way of saying it. The ground is wish-fulfilling, the trees are wish-fulfilling. So it means, wish means there's 5 basic categories of wishes. I want liberation and Vaikuntha prem. I want out. I want to go back home, back to God. Let me out of here. Give me prem. Give me a ticket out of here. Give me prem. Give me a ticket for the Prem Airlines, the Liberation Express. Give me a Prem ticket for the Liberation Express. Get me out of here. I'm suffering. So they're wandering around Vrindavan. Art, money. Take it, because that's the thing. That's a wish fulfilling. So that's why people come here. They want money. They get it. They want women or sense enjoyment. They get it. Women want men. They come here to get husbands. Many people come here to get so many things. To Giraj Parikama to get a baby. To Giraj Parikama to get a husband. To Giraj Parikama to get a wife. Or a new one, or an extra one, or whatever. That's Vrindavan. It's another world. We're talking about another world. We're talking about a faraway place. Because it's all about consciousness. And where is our consciousness? And where is Vrindavan? So where our consciousness is, and where Vrindavan is, there's the universe is separating them. So it's like a faraway planet, faraway universe. What's my consciousness and what is Vrindavan consciousness? Let's not talk about that. But the vision of the servants of Radha's lotus feet does not divert. Kripaya. Parama kripaya pranmadamaha. Parama kripa. Karuna Sindhu. Kripamayi Radha. Karuna Sindhu Radha. Karunamayi Radha. Kripa Sindhu Radha. She's an ocean of mercy and an ocean of compassion. So to see the point, someone who's fixed in Radha consciousness or someone's fixed in Krishna consciousness, and Maya comes. Dharma personified comes. Look, I'll give you all the opulence of Dharma. You can join this world. Life after life, you can be Brahman, Kshatriya, enjoy life after life. These are the fruits of Dharma. The Dharma Shastras, play it right. Smritis, follow the Smritis, the Smartas, follow the path of the Smritis, and prolong their life extension programs. Life extension programs. In the material world, they prolong their existence. They enjoy Kshatriya bodies for a while, then Brahman bodies, and this body, that body, by strictly following the Vedic paradigm of the Smritis, rotating in different forms of life to enjoy different sceneries and different settings. Dharma, Phal. Then art, influence, power, fame, control, planets, countries. They're all walking around. You embrace the Kalpavriksha tree with art itcha or dharma itcha. Then you become a dharma dwaji. You become a dharma dwaji. Fly the flag of dharma. Become famous as a religious pracharak because you want to be a famous dharmic person. It's not anything about bhakti or prema or seva or radharani. It's all about profiling. It's all about cutting a profile, getting adoration, distinction, money, position through dharma. Professional Bhagavad reciters, a song and a dance, and go away with fortune. Name, fame, pride, worship, pratishtha, honor, puja, lo, puj, pratishtha. So that's dharma phal, art. Then calm. Calm personified is walking around. Lust personified, that's really clear. Pretty easy to see that one. Dharma, art, calm, moksha. Mukti Devi is wandering here in Vrindavan. Hey, you want mukti? What do you want? Sharshti mukti? Come on, take the money, man, run with it. Eternal money. Eternal money, talk about ATM. That's ATM, anytime money. How about ETM? Mukti Devi can give you an ETM machine. What's ETM? Eternal money machine. Eternal time money. ETM. Maya gives you ATM, anytime money. But if you run into Mukti Devi, she's wandering around. It says here, Pum arta panchaiva brahmanam iha vishvag vidarate. Saranande vrindavana gata janer atmakalane. Iha stanam twetat paramakripaya pronmadamaha rasoga shiradapada juga jusham kwapi nadrisha. So, moksha, Mukti Devi is wandering around. You want Sharsti? You want ETM, eternal? You have Sharsti means all the opulence and wealth of Vishnu and Lakshmi Devi. And your own Vaikuntha planet, enjoy. Then you want Surupya Mukti. I want to look like Big Daddy. I want 4 arms and a big chest like a doorway and little hair, silver hair on it. Curled to the right, not to the left. Curling to the right. That's cool. It curls to the left, it ain't cool. It says like that, it curls to the right. And lotus eyes. That's not bad. Anybody wants those. No! We don't want. We want Radhapad Seva. Radha Seva. Radha Dasyam. Radha Dasyam. Shri Radhapada Juga Jusham Kwapi. Kwapi Nadrishi. Their vision, there's just all they see is Radha's feet. I don't see anything else but Radha's feet. What more? No Mukti, no Kama Devi, no. Kam Devi, lust personified, no thanks. Mukti Devi, no thanks. Arta Devi, you want to give me art, money, power, name, fame, no thank you. Dharma Devi, Dharmaraj, I don't want. Only Radha. Radha, Radha, Radha. Radha, 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 Radha. Vrindavan Mahimamrita, we're discussing about this is the glories of the Brijvasis. We heard about how they're all Chinmaya, and no matter what they do, they're faultless, and any kind of contact with them is very special. We get tremendous benefit by that. And then what vision do they have? And then how the Brijvasis are serving Radharani. That was, I think, the last thing we read. Is it right? Chapter 6, verse 61. Shri Gandharva Pranabandhu Padamja 61 Dwanvan Milat Prema Piyusha Sindo Swadante Yascharya Madhurya Dhara Srimad Vrindavana Kanane K.P. Danya. Only some most fortunate residents of Sri Vrindavan are able to relish the wonderful flow of sweetness emanating from the loving nectarine ocean of Sri Radha and her beloved Lord Krishna's lotus feet. This is about drinking the Prem Ras. How very few, but a genuine Brijvasi, a genuine resident of Vrindavan, says Prem Piyusha Sindo. Prem Piyush. Piyush means that drink. Shri Gandharva Pran Bandhu Padabja. Gandharva Pran, that's interesting. Prana Bandhu, the Prana Bandhu Padabja. Prana Bandhu Padabja is the lotus feet of Krishna. Prananath. My Prananath. Mat Prananath. Tu Sevanat Paraha. No one but my Prananath. So Prananath means Prana Bandhu. Krishna's Prana Bandhu. In fact, in many places they refer to the Lord like this, Prana Bandhu, especially Bengalis when they talk about their Thakurji. Oh, my Pran Bandhu. It's a very intimate way. And once I'll give you an example of Brijvasis. It says, Brijvasis drink Prem Ras. That's the theme of this verse. And so only those very fortunate Brijvasis. So the literal translation is the lotus feet of the beloved friend of the life force of Sri Gandharvika Radha. Right? Sri Gandharva is Radharani. Right? Radharani's Pranabandhu. The lotus feet of the Pranabandhu of Sri Gandharvika. Yes? That's really what it says. You agree? Sri Gandharva, Radharani. Pranabandhu, Krishna. Radha and Krishna Yuga. And Pada Abja. Abja means the lotus feet. Abja means Abdi, or Abja means ocean. So the loving nectarine ocean of Sri Radha. Only the most fortunate residents of Sri Vrindavan says Ascharya Madhurya Dhara. Dhara means the current, the river, the flow. Rupanuga Dhara. Rupanuga Dhara means the current, the flow of philosophy and Siddhanta coming from the lotus feet of Rupa Goswami. Shri Rupanuga Dhara. We're following that, we're swimming in that, we're meant to be in that. So the Madhurya Dhara means that river of sweetness, and what is it? The current and river of sweetness, and what is this characteristic? Ascharya. Ascharya means incomprehensible. Ascharya means more than wonderful. The Srimad Brinda Kanane Danya. So that's a very interesting way. Sri Brinda Kanane. Those fortunate ones, those fortunate ones that live in the Kana, like Nanda Kanana. You heard of Nanda Kanana? The pleasure forest and Swarga, Nanda Kanana. The Srimad Brinda Kanana means the far is like saying Vrindavan, we say Vrindavan or Vrindavan, the forest of Vrindavan. So Brinda Kanana means the Vipina Kanana. There's that phrase is there in some bhajans, right? Kanava Kanana Rasa Prayana. So Kanava Kanana means Krishna loves to play in the Kanava forest. from our ashram for 3 kilometers that way, 50 years ago, was a full Kadamba Kandi, full. So many Kadamba trees that you couldn't see the sunlight inside the forest. That's how thick it was. The old people here, 80-year-old people, 70-year-old people, they're telling. Yeah, when we were kids, we used to run through there, cool off. They lived on top of the hill, they lived in the Tila, and all forests around here, even 50 years ago. So much development, so much commercialization. 50 years. Zip, all the trees gone. So Krishna would play in those Kadamba forests. So Srimad Brinda Kanane KP Danya. That's us. We're Srimad Brinda Kanana Danya. We're fortunate residents of the forest of, wherever you can find that forest, the forest of Vrindavan, the long lost forest of Vrindavan. Only some most fortunate residents of Sri Vrindavan are able to relish the wonderful flow of sweetness emanating from the loving nectarine ocean of Sri Radha, our beloved Lord Krishna's lotus feet. My God, Brother Kushakrata was extremely formal. Like whenever Prabhupada saw Nam Sankirtan anywhere in CC, he said, Lord Chaitanya's associates were chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It just says Nam Sankirtan. They could be chanting Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama Gopal Govinda or Krishna Krishna Krishna. So many things. Sri Krishna Govinda Hari Marari Hey Nata Narayana Vasudeva. Many bhajans they have. Hey Krishna Mahari Nanda Kumar. Is that so many things. Beautiful bhajans in Bengali with Nam bhajans. Achyuta Keshava Sridhara Madhava Gopala Govinda Hari Jai Govinda Jai Gopal Keshava Madhava. This is like a kirtan. Is this Nam Kirtan? Yes. So Nam Sankirtan. A Prabhupada sees Nam. And Lord Chaitanya and the Rath Yatra is chanting Nam Sankirtan. The Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. So what else can he say? Because he's the founder of the Hare Krishna movement. That's what it's. The ISKCON is only in India, but anywhere in America and Europe, it's called the Hare Krishna movement. We're the Hare Krishna people. They say, "You Hare Krishna?" No, I'm Hare Krishna Das. My father's Hare Krishna. You Hare Krishna? They think it's some movement of some Jewish guy named Hare Krishna. Because Krishna, there's some Jewish name, Krishna. So Hare Krishna is some Jewish guy from New York. He started some spiritual movement and named after himself. They have movements like that, the so-and-so movement, or, the Rudolf Steiner kids school, or, they have all these kind of things. Aurobindo Ashram. It's Aurobindo's the name of some guy, right? Swami Aurobindo. So the Hare Krishna, you're Hare Krishna. It's so funny, it was nice. But here it's ISKCON. What's ISKCON? Is ISKCON Madhurya Nam? Mukhya Prem Nam, I guess, because Prabhupada said that Krishna has appeared in the ISKCON movement. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna from Vrindavan, has appeared in the International Society of Krishna Consciousness. The 10th canto of Bhagavatam and the purport of chapter 3, the birth of Lord Krishna. So the Lord has taken birth in the womb of the ISKCON movement. So now he's like getting pretty old. He's 66, he was born. So that's 34, he's 45 years old. But he only looks like he's 15 years, 9 months, 7.5 days. So this is a nice verse. Now let's, the next verse is interesting how we're hearing about all this. In this verse, the title is Serve the Brijvasis. Serving them. We talked about their qualities, their gunas, their vision, their experience, their position, their uniqueness, their speciality. And now this is chapter 1, verse 72 on page 26. So I want to hear about a Brijvasi. We heard about Brijvasi's relishes, Prem Ras, in the last verse. So let's hear about a Brijvasi who is relishing Prem Ras. There's a Brijvasi named Gorakishore Das Babaji Maharaj. You've heard? He's my Para Guru. My guru's guru. And he spent about 20-30 years wandering in Vrindavan. And he was wandering in Vrindavan. he would sing one bhajan. Kotai go prema mahi, Radhe Radhe. Kotai go prema mahi, Radhe Radhe. Ashtashaki Shiromani, Radhe Radhe. Ashtashaki Shiromani, Radhe Radhe. Vrishabhanu Nandini, Radhe Radhe. Vrishabhanu Nandini, Radhe Radhe. Kotai go prema mahi, Radhe Radhe. Kotai go prema mahi, Radhe Radhe. Kanu manu mohini, Radhe Radhe. Kanu manu mohini, Radhe Radhe. Ashtashaki Shiromani, Radhe Radhe. Ashtashaki Shiromani, Radhe Radhe. Kotai go prema mahi, Radhe Radhe. Kotai go prema mahi, Radhe Radhe. Radhe 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 Radhe. Krishna prema pradayani, Radhe Radhe. Krishna prema pradayani, Radhe Radhe. Gorakishore Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. So he wandered around for 30 years in Braj, relishing the ras of this non-ras, relishing the prem ras, that sweet ocean current, the prem ras coming from the feet of Pranabandhu, coming from the lotus, the ocean-like current coming from the lotus feet of Pranabandhu Sham, Pranabandhu Sham and Sri Gandharva Radha. And then after some time he went to Navadvip because he was lamenting, and sometimes he would have sporti of Radha and Krishna, then he would see them and be sporti, then not see them, and he was rolling around lamenting. Then he was crying out, "Oh, I came to Vrindavan, I stayed for 30 years, I couldn't find my Radha and Krishna, let me go to my Gaur. Gora, Gora, Gora." He went to Navadvip. He said, "Yes, I will take shelter. Gora, Gora, Govinda, Radha. I searched for my Radha Govinda in Braj, I could not find, I could not have Sakshatkar, I could not have Sakshat Darshan. But my merciful, my Kruna Maya Gaur, my Gora, my Govinda is Gaur, and my Radha is Ra, Gora, and I am Gora Kishore. I worship that Gora Kishore, the beautiful Gora Kishore, Sham, Gora Kishore Radha, and Mahaprabhu, Nimai, Gora Kishore, Gora. So then he's wandering all around Navadvip, Gora. And he's relishing the ras, he's relishing Braja ras through the means of Navadvip Dham. And he was looking like he's had long hair, beard, and wearing any clothes you can find, old clothes in the Ganga put on, and looking some like Avadut. And sometimes the children of Navadvip and Mayapur, like children are, they're little rascal type, they would throw the Mayapur Raj, they would throw dirt on him. Throw dirt on him and make names and, "Oh Baba, you're just begging, you're fake, you're not," and they would just ridicule him and throw dust on him. So one day when he was walking in his own ecstasy of Brajabhav, relishing his prem rasa of Vrindavan, as we mentioned about in the last verse, then he looked up and he said, "Listen, Govinda, I'm going to Mother Yashoda. I'm going right now to Mother Yashoda's house. I'm going to complain about you. You can't do this to me. These boys are throwing dirt on me. I'm complaining. You're behind all this. I know that. You're behind all this, and I'm going to tell Mother Yashoda, and she's going to put you in trouble." So he's relishing this. This is his bhav. This is an example of someone who's relishing Brajaras. Chapter 1, verse 72. This is about serving the Brijvasis. Sado shakshno shina chet sakalam apihatat swapna kalpam vihatum taritam dhyaya brindavana manisham ato pasya brindavana esho tan namam yeva nityam japa sadatam ato tat katam sam shushwa Shrimad Vrindavana Stanata Paricharabo Bhojanat Achan Anand Adye. O devotees, if you cannot immediately give up all your dreamlike, illusory activities, if you cannot give them up immediately, then just constantly meditate on Sri Vrindavan while worshipping the young divine couple, Radha and Krishna. Or meditate on both Sri Vrindavan and the predominating deity of Vrindavan, as Radha Govinda. Always chant their holy names, hear about their pastimes, and serve the residents of Vrindavan by supplying them food and clothes. So these are different ways for someone who's absorbed in his dreamlike illusory activities, somewhat entranced, or let's say entrenched in those pursuits for whatever reason, and he's not allowed somehow at the present time to live in the Brajadam, then, as is told elsewhere by Rupa Goswami, if one cannot physically, heartfully, and mentally live in Vrindavan, then he should mentally live in Vrindavan, irregardless of where he's residing physically. That's being told here, along with the context of meditating, saying you can be in Vrindavan, and you can have the experience and blessings of living in Vrindavan by meditating on Vrindavan, along with worshipping the divine couple, because Vrindavan means Radha and Krishna. And the best way to worship them is to always chant their holy names and hear about their leelas. So this, of course, is the primary bhajan. Shravanam Kirtanam Smaranam. Leela Smaranam, Nam Kirtan, and Rup Dhyan. Meditate on Radha Govinda's transcendental forms and qualities, chant their holy names, and meditate on their pastimes in Vrindavan with their Brijvasi devotees, Yashoda, Subal, Sridham, Lalita, Vishaka, Ashtasakis, Radha and Krishna, etc. Now that's on the high side of things, directly to Bhagavan and the Alokik Aprikad Dham, meditating and meditating on Rasakali Leela. But then it's talking about right now, that whenever you do come, the time to time when you do come to Vrindavan, then you should serve the Brijvasis. Well, how do you do that? Well, you supply them food and clothes. So, I don't know if anyone has noticed, but over the years I've induced and encouraged everyone to bring their used clothes, which are practically new, or to bring new clothes from Delhi and Bombay, etc., to donate to the Brijvasis, because these are the general donations that are recommended. So everything I'm telling you is actually guided by Shastra, and simple, just follow and you'll get the result. So Prabhupada Saraswati, who was Tunga Vidyasaki, one of the Ashtasakis, he's saying that if you want to get into Vrindavan eternally, live there in your citadel and serve Radha and Krishna in your individual seva, then you have to do something from your side, endeavor from your side, but you need blessings from the other side. 2 fingers, Damodar Leela. Endeavor, Karta and Kripa. Karta and Kripa. Actions, Karta and Kripa. Actions from your side and mercy from that side. That side means the Alokik side. The devotees are in the Alokik Dham. Devotees are they're called Sajanas or Satjanas. They're members of the eternal realm. They're bringing the treasury. They're bringing the treasure from the other side to this side. So by serving the Brijvasis, you're serving Krishna. He who says he's my devotee is not my devotee. But he who serves my devotees, I accept him as my devotee. Krishna tells us in Adi Purana. So the greatest of all devotees of Krishna, which is recognized by Sanatana Goswami and the greatest Acharyas and Shukadev Goswami and Uddhava Mahashaya and Brahman Shiva and all the demigods, they recognize the paramount of all bhaktas are the Brijvasis, Yashoda, Nanda, Sridham, Subal, and of course the paramount topmost devotee of all is Srimati Radharani. So Brijvasis are, the way to get into Vrindavan is worship a Brijvasi. Just like if you want to get a job in Reliance Industry, then worship a Reliance, worship somebody that works for Reliance. So if you worship him, then there's a good chance you may get some kind of job with Reliance, right? You get hired by the company, taken right in. So if you worship a Brijvasi, you may get hired by a Brijvasi, or you might be taken right in. Right? He may invite you to come from Bombay. Take you right into the company, right into the company store. This is the key. Shri Vrindavan Dhama ki jai, jai jai Shri Radhe. So tomorrow we'll hear about the rarity of getting remnants of a Brijvasi. Vrindavan Mahimamrita class, Sataka 4, we're discussing about the Brijvasis, the glories of the Brijvasis. And this particular point is about how rare it is to get the remnants, to actually get the remnants of a Brijvasi. It's very, very rare. Nice verse. This is from chapter 4, verse 86. So we can chant this verse. This is 486. Api mama koti bhavante bhavatu param tadrisho deha Vrindavanam adivasatam uchishtaika spriha bhavet yatra. Saraswati Pad is praying, let me receive a transcendental body even after millions of lifetimes, so that I can desire to survive only on the remnants of the residents of Vrindavan. So he's, in this verse, he's extolling it. It says, Uchishtaika spriha bhaved yatra. Vrindavanam adivasatam. He says, living in Vrindavan means somehow getting the remnants of the Brijvasis, their food remnants, what they've honored, their Gopal Bhog, Gopal Prasad, Mahaprasad, or Giriraj Mahaprasad, or Krishna Mahaprasad, their Radharas Bihari Mahaprasad. That he's saying that even after millions of lifetimes, I may take and even have a transcendental body, but I want to survive. He's not just saying eat once in a while, but he's saying I want to survive on the transcendental remnants of the Brijvasis. So, of course, the author himself is born in South India, and initiated in the Sri Sampradaya, worshippers of Lakshmi Narayan, Prabodhananda Saraswati. He was the brother of Venkata Bhatta, and he was the uncle of Gopal Bhatta Goswami. He met Lord Chaitanya. So he's not considering very much his Brahmin birth or because other castes of society, the Kshatriyas or the Vaishyas, Shudras, etc., they would be very happy and satisfied to get the remnants of a Brahmin Bhojan. Because it's told in Puran that Vishnu, he eats through the mouths of the Brahmins. So he eats
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Vedum Dhanvantam Varavindadaraya Tacham Varvavatam Samasitam Purasam Kandharpakochitam Vishesha Shobha Govinda Adipurusha Bhajanti Govinda Adipurusha Bhajanti Govinda Adipurusha Angariyasa sagare Driyavindivanti Pashyanti Kanti Jayanti Chirayashanti Ananda Chimaya Sadhu Vara Vigrahya Gopinna Hari Krishna Govinda Hari Krishna Govinda Hari Jaya
Fellowship Shri Radha Shyam Sundar Lalita Vishakha ki Shri Giriraj Govardhan Maharaj ki Jagannath Subhadra Maharani ki Krishna Singhadev Bhagwan ki Bhakti Simani Prahlad Maharaj ki Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj ki Swami Bhakti Dhira Damodara Swami Maharaj Shri Gurudev ki Jai Gaur Premanandi Hari
Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much for your wonderful, nice prasada. See you later. Hare Krishna.
Next by Hare Krishna, Jai Guru.